Hey, this is Mike from Absolute Comfort and Sun Heating and Cooling. We're in York, Pennsylvania. We service the York, Lancaster, and Hanover area for all your HVAC needs as far as residential replacement, maintenance, and repair. We're open 24/7, and we change lives 1 degree at a time. That's what we're here to do. You can get a hold of us at 717-814-2070 or 818-1785. Our website is absolutecomfortandsunllc.com, and we can reach 24 hours a day.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Road to Results podcast. I'm Rhy. That's Ray. That's Ray. I'm Rhy. Either way you slice that pie. And yes, this is the first episode of the new year 2024. Yes, we are in the new year, and well, I'm gonna tell you what, this is definitely a year that I've been looking forward to. Last year was our Jordan year. This year is our Kobe year, and bro, there are going to be some adjustments that are going to be made. There are going to be some things, people, activities that are going to be pruned so that we can just continue to grow in the way that God is calling us to grow. And if you're just rocking with us for the first time, this is our documentation, our 52-week journey in the YouOweYou Mastermind under the leadership of Dr. Eric Thomas, aka E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. And Ray and I said, look, it doesn't matter what your industry is. It doesn't matter what you do with your background. We believe that everyone deserves the results that they're willing to put the work in for. So we are sharing, again, little nuggets each week with each and every one of you, just some takeaways, some call to actions so that you can get the results that you are looking for. And yeah, we're just dropping these gems. So what's going on, Ray?
All about these gems. Hey, and not just the smooth ones.
Not just the smooth ones.
Not just the smooth ones, man. Obviously, man, end of the year, closing one out and opening one up. If you're breathing, that means you're starting a new one. But you can't start a new one without closing out another one, man. Sometimes as difficult as it may be, it's necessary to move forward, bro. So yeah, man, just blessed to have had, experienced this journey with you, like both of us individually, but collectively being able to go through this and grow through this as we share with our Road to Results family. But we got to give them a name, man. These are, I don't want to say passengers, but like, we in a carpool. I don't know.
These are like the results squad. We'll figure out a good term for the fan.
We'll grow into it. We'll grow into it properly. But yeah, man, it's just been both a fruitful year but not one without its thorns. We can say that. Yeah, we can say that. Yeah. And like you said, you and I were on talking a little bit before. I don't say a little bit, probably a good 45 minutes or so before this. It's trying to not script this, but just catching up. And both of us kind of been going through that. It's not open highway right now. You get on that, especially. I'm out here in Texas. You head West Texas, man. You get to a certain point, and it's just 2 lanes, speed limit's 85, and there's nothing. You just go. We're not on that right now. And so as we closed out 2023, having to hit the brakes, slow down a little bit. I think it's like we were talking, man. It's most important to have that mindset to know that this is part of the journey. And as we open up 2024, as you so delicately and intentionally named Kobe year, you reminded me, and you don't say reminded me because I didn't know that, but you said his first game he opened up with what?
8, bro. His first playoff series, like 8 air balls in a row. Like his rookie year, bro. He was there and he was getting booed and he was getting laughed at, all the things. Because Kobe was, again, he came in confident. Some say cocky, some confident, maybe a little bit of both. But when he hit those air balls and he was getting booed at, and now as he talks about it now, that actually fueled him to be better. And real quick, man, I just want to shout out Janine. The Netherlands is back. Fire emoji. Shout out to Janine. And Janine, guess what? Danielle and I, we've been on a mission finding that glue wine. So if you've never been to Belgium or to Amsterdam, glue wine is a wine that they make only 3 weeks out of the year, and it's sold at their Christmas markets, and they put it in this hot pot and they're scooping it. So like you're freezing, you get some glue wine or mulled wine, and that is on point. And we were able to find a couple bottles out here. So Danielle are like, hey, let's just, they're sold out now, but we got a couple bottles and we're going to be, reminiscing on some glue wine. But yeah, bro, I think that's something that, that I definitely want to touch up on today is like, what's the reality, right? The reality of going big, the reality of shifting your mindset, the reality of taking the chance, taking the risk, right? No risk, no rewards. And I think both you and I, on both ends of that, we've taken the big risk and we've received the big reward, and we've taken the big risk and we fell flat on our face, or at least it feels that way. At least it feels that way. And so we're kind of in that sticky point, that rhythm. I always believe like towards the end of the year, beginning of new year, there's always that, there should always be room for reflection. There should always be room to look and kind of figure out where you are. So so let's just go ahead and start there. But like, what were some, I guess, for you in 2023, what were just some of the things that you learned, maybe in the form of something not coming through the way you planned for it, or maybe unexpectedly, or maybe a little bit of both? If you could just kind of speak to that, and like, what's that feeling like for you, or kind of how would you describe that?
We've talked about it a few times, but I can't express it. It's on both ends, man. It's on the both. You or I, maybe at the same time, is we are one. We expressed the idea of you have to maintain a pace. I mean, that's probably one of our earlier episodes. Like, you have to maintain a pace, and reflecting on what was done right. My pace is needed, but not in all categories, not in all areas of effort. We had, you sent me the text in one of the last episodes towards in 23 was, Carl is moving past potential, and a lot of that energy and effort was him allowing me to be that pace setter that I can be, which turned into something truly just fruitful and beautiful. But maintaining that pace and some of the other things I'm doing, specifically real estate, and I don't think it's a secret that people know that I'm in that. At this point, man, I was like, you could have slowed down in certain areas. Moving quickly did get me in a certain position to have the, what is the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say relationship, the reputation
Resources.
that I have. Yeah, reputation, resources, connections, all that stuff is what put me in this position. I mean, it's what put Carl in the position to even ask me, hey, your pilot is crazy. Like, can you talk to me about what you did within real estate? So it put me in that position, but now I'm in a position where I'm like, I can look back and be like, you moved too fast. So it's understanding and being able to look at this situation holistically and realize that for all of us, whatever it is that you do well, and the things that you don't do so well, what you do well isn't necessary in every situation. A hammer is not needed for all fixes, repairs, updates, whatever it is. But understanding it's still needed at times and moments. And I think that's the biggest piece for me, is like looking back. And honestly, I can't say that I regret. I don't want to say any of it, because I could go back and I would make some adjustments, but would I still move at the same pace for the most part? Yeah, I would. But I moving forward, I won't. I will probably take a little bit of a slower, more methodical, which is not, obviously on my strong suits. I don't say methodical is not, but the patience isn't really there. But it's at the same time, man, it's like, you can't, like we said, you can't expect the blessing without the burdens. And not in every situation, one is going to outweigh the other,
Yeah.
whether we want it to or not. You know, as much as we would like the things to be, you know, even, in this current moment, the burden is winning. I don't say it's one, but in the current moment, I'm feeling the burden more. I'm feeling the blessing. So I don't know if that really answered the question, but just on the reflection piece, as far as what I've done, the impact of whether it's me or other people, it's that pace. It's understanding when you should be moving a certain way and when you should be moving, you know, in that effort. So, yeah, man, I might be in my head too much for once, you know. Yeah,
No,
moment,
that's
so,
and but here's what I love about that, right? So one of my best friends, Will Vallejo, he would always say, you know, basketball is a game of runs. So for
yeah,
those who are avid basketball players, you know there'll be a team that might just go on a 10-2 run, a 19-0 run, right? And it's all pace. And when you look at basketball players, even from a physical standpoint, they're not running all the time like full speed. Like they know when to turn it up, they know when to backpedal, they know when to walk down the court. And I think when we were talking about this analogy, my boy and I, and it was like, and this is how we got to look at life. This is how we got to look at business. There's going to be times where we sprinting and we're full pace, full court pressing it. And then there's times where we're going to lay back in the zone. And I feel like this is kind of one of the struggles for those who are new to maybe entrepreneurship, or maybe you're doing something new, is that if you, again, it's this, the words that came up for me while you were sharing was like this infatuation versus like, you know, this being realistic, right? Like, or momentum and
yeah,
infatuation. Let's use that word, momentum and infatuation, meaning
yeah,
like when you're in a community, when you're around like-minded people, when you're yoked with the right folks, the momentum, like, and that's what we've experienced. That's what we experienced in 2023 is just momentum. But now, like, let's bring it back. Like, but were there times where we were running fast when we should have just been like walking down the court? Or were there times where, you know what I mean? Like when we're looking at our pace and something that, like, you're just to speak to what you're talking about, like now we're kind of in positions where even for myself, is like all this momentum built to some great ideas, doors open, opportunities are there. Am I in the best position to deliver on all those things right now? Not at the moment, if I'm being fully transparent. Like with
yeah,
all the different ideas and programs that are in the making, it also requires, like E said this morning on our call, human resources, right? Human resources. And I think kind of what you're, you know, kind of in the same lane of what you're talking about, bro, is scaling. And I remember when I first, Danielle and I, we were taking our Airbnb training mastermind. It was like the idea of like people scaling too fast, and what ended up happening, it blew up in their face. Like they scale
yeah,
way too quick, got too many properties. They didn't have the systems in place. And then I remember when that was happening, it was like, oh, okay, not with us, like, you know, in short-term rentals, but when we saw it happening within our community, actually, that actually cautioned Danielle and I to be like,
yeah,
oh, let's not
yeah.
try to grab as many short-term rentals if we don't have, you know, the PMS, if we
The
don't have
systems, yeah,
the systems, the automations, right? If we don't have that stuff set up, because they can end up burning us at the end. And I think, again, just like full transparency to all of our, there's Melissa said, maybe we call us roadies, to all of our roadies, all right, on this road to results. Like there are going to be times where you catch yourself in the wrong pace, where your momentum turns into infatuation. And it's not that it's a bad thing, but it's in that, like, okay, I'm infatuated with the idea and the lifestyle and the things that this can produce, but I'm just not there yet.
yeah, yeah,
And I think that right now, on different levels, like whether, you know, in business or just in different levels for us, it's like, I know for myself, program wise, I'll just, you know, flat out, like for me, program wise, I'm like, the ideas are there. There is a framework. It's not totally built out. So will it happen in Q1? Still the plan. But by this point where I'm at right now, it's not as far along as I hoped it to be. And it's kind of one of those situations where, because one thing leads into the next, leads into the next, like a domino effect, right? Like, so one thing doesn't happen the way that you anticipated it to, then everything else kind of either gets put on hold or even jeopardizes different opportunities. So for all of our roadies, we'll just say that for all the roadies out there, just know, like, yes, have the plan, have the community, like try to be as clear as you can, create, the momentum, but also understand too that there are going to be some times where I think you said earlier, right, prior, like there's going to be some times where you feel discouraged. There's going to be times where you feel like, when can I catch a break?
Yeah.
When is this going to happen for me? Like, when's that breakthrough? And I think that that's something that we all have to be mindful of, that mindset wise, that this is what's happening mentally for many of us, especially at the end of the year into a new year. Like there's always that reflection that makes us have those thoughts.
Yeah. And I think it's important, man, to you said that when is it going to happen for me? Like it's also in a certain space. I mean, I think, someone on the outside could take a look at both of us, individually, collectively, and be like, yo, that's where I want to be, without knowing all of the details. But at the same time, just like, I mentioned from that podcast and working with Carl on his event, working with E on the devotional, you and I both being on multiple summits this year, some people could be like, that could be it. And those have truly been some of the biggest blessings that I've had. And I would venture out to say you as well this year. I mean, because of what they represent to us and where we were when we first found them. And we mentioned before, like, two things can be true at once. Like, yo, those are some huge, huge blessings. But there still are some very, very real burdens that put you in that space. And like I said, man, it's like, I don't feel, and for our roadies out there, I don't know if we don't keep that one. My head goes to a different space when we say roadies. But it's, as I say, it's like, you can have that experience of feeling success in moments, but then the true weight of what that is. And I think we don't want this to be an episode of like just on that side, because, these things are needed so that you can make adjustments. And that's what we'll be doing, and what individually both Ryan and I have been doing, and collectively what we've been doing to make adjustments for 2024 to move in a more intentional, directed, a pace setting, but not exhausting. Because when you're saying that you're going back and forth in court, but like, if I'm sprinting to both sides into the courts, essentially doing suicides in the middle of the game, how long am I going to really last? And that's where I essentially put myself in the real estate space, was like, I was sprinting and now I'm out of gas and I can't keep up. I can't. And there's literally only one of two things is someone's going to tag in for relief, or we losing this game. This game, not the series, not the season, but this game. And are you willing to make the adjustments individually and collectively so that it's not a losing season? It's just it's a lost moment, or the game plan you had for this particular game is not there. But I think putting ourselves in these positions, and what I loved what E said was, and I don't even know why I said to not be disrespectful. Yeah, I would have. You didn't have to preface it with that at all. But Ray's got more gift than he does opportunities. But I put myself in the position through serving to earn those opportunities to express and share my gift. And if I hadn't moved at a certain pace, I don't know if that would be true. So you can have both those moments simultaneously. Which one am I going to focus on, though? That's my choice. So if whatever y'all ended 2023 with, what are you focusing on? There's plenty of lessons to be learned, but it's up to you. Who's that? Eric, that said the adjustment. What adjustment are you going to make in 2024 that makes this a more productive season that you're about to enter? We can take those lessons, or we can focus on the loss.
Love it. Hey, and I'm gonna do everything I can this year to keep the basketball analogies and the Kobe analogies going because I am a diehard Kobe fan. If you didn't see, I'll actually.
You gon' yeah, you gonna be one sided in the most of the analogies because your boy is a football fan, but football does end in February, and I don't watch basketball. I played a little bit, not with any type of grace or anything.
All right,
Like
I'll
full
keep
on
it. I'll
just
try to
bully.
keep it as simple as
But
possible. But I'll say this:
you say it. I'm sure I'll catch it
you will
eventually.
catch it. Come on,
But if not,
throw
don't
that.
ask me. Don't ask me to get in there and help out with those. Because I'm gonna be
No,
like,
I got you. I got you. So,
yeah,
so one of
b-ball.
the so one of the things, right? When I think about just again, right, as we're in this idea of basketball or just the theme of the game, I love pulling out all the different life lessons from different sports, right? I mean, he's a big fan of that, but I think something that I want us to just be mindful of, right? Like especially back in like when I talked about Cove in the beginning, like right, I feel like what we've experienced in 23, specifically with the mastermind, with the community, with the opportunities, was like being in the finals. Right, like the energy, the opportunities, right, the breakthroughs mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even financially, certain points, opportunities. I feel like the rush felt like being in the playoffs or even in the finals. But like I said earlier, man, Kobe, he airballed. He lost. I mean, even MJ, how many game winning shots did they lose, especially in the playoffs? And so I look at that, and all this to say to all of our viewers, just to full transparency, Ray and I were going through different seasons in our business in different areas. Not all is lost, but it definitely, those setbacks, right? Those setbacks are there, and they're going to come. But how do you prepare for that? And I love the fact that we have documentation of our journey via the shorts, via the 30 plus episodes that are already uploaded. And because when we look back, and I recommend, if you haven't watched all the videos or listened to them, 1.5, 1.75 is my favorite speed. Listen to me and Ray on 1.5, 1.75, and you will catch some nuggets, some straight up nuggets. But I will say this. One of the things, let me see what this comment says. Me too, Ray. I've got no idea. I had to look up. Oh, you had to look up who
I
Kobe
can't.
was.
I can't,
All
Janine. I
good.
can't.
Hey.
I can't be in alignment with that one. I mean, I know some players, especially Kobe.
All
But I'm
good.
gonna
Hey,
give you
no
some grace because
worries.
you in the
No
Netherlands.
worries. So Kobe Bryant, to me, again, one of the hands down, just his work ethic, the way he was going into 24. His number was 24. Originally was 8. He chose number 24 because he wanted to one up MJ, who was 23. All different kinds of things. So we talk about adjustments. Let's talk about this. Like something that people may or may not know, but when Kobe rolled his ankles, like it was like 8 or 9 times in one season. Like 8 or 9 times in one season. Bro, do you know what he did to strengthen his ankles? What do you think he did? I mean, professional basketball player making millions of
Ballet.
dollars, bro. Ballet. Ballet, y'all. Yes, you heard that correctly. Ballet. He took ballet classes. Why? Because he needed to strengthen those ankles. Another fun fact. Did you know that Kobe, and I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. Did you know that Kobe took the official referee's course? Like he took the courses. Why? Because he wanted to know what the refs were calling. He wanted to know essentially what he could get away with, and like the mindset of the refs. So the reason I'm sharing this, right, is because number one, when I think about tap dancing and basketball, he found a weak point and he did something unorthodox. He did something that probably most people will never have known to fix that little part, which was a big part of his game. Ankle strength. Refereeing. He understood the mindset of the people that were actually making the calls of the games. He saw
Yep.
what they were looking for and how he can work with that. So for me, with that same type of mindset, what's my tap dancing look like? for 24? Where do I have to like strengthen in some areas and do it in certain ways that I probably never would have done it? Maybe it's not even related to anything in the industries that I'm in, but ultimately it's going to strengthen me in
Strengthen your
that weak
game. Yeah.
area. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the takeaway. And then of course, just the mindset, studying what you do, how you do it, not from your perspective, but from the perspective of others was the other point I wanted to make. So like how you say, Ray, like we're reflecting and we've reflected kind of where we were and where we are now, but it's like, can we in our industry and what we're doing, can we look at it from the other person's shoes? Why EQ is so important, empathy, right? Like, can we put ourselves in the other person's shoes, get their perspective so that we can actually do a honest analysis of where we are, and more importantly, learn how to play the game, from a perspective of like, oh, okay, this is what they're looking for. You say it best, learn the language. Can we learn the language so that we can really operate at a high level? So, yeah, that's just what I've been thinking, man.
Bruh. Man, I love it. Each and every one of you that's watching, either live or in the follow the actual drop. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate your support. But I think one of the hardest things to do for each of us is just to be open and transparent with what, and it's not okay. Being right, we're talking about like, there's transparent. There's just, you have no filter on your mouth. Like, not everything needs to be expressed, but we just want to let y'all know that whatever and whoever it is you're looking at and looking to for guidance and support in one way or another, they've either gone through some struggles or they're currently going through. So when we said, the road that we're currently on isn't an open highway right now. Like we're on that road that you got to go 5 to 10 miles an hour. There's no guardrail. It's a little, we don't know what's ahead, but we must continue.
There it is.
Like we must continue, and we know where we're going, and it's super uncomfortable in moments. And that's a hard thing. That's a difficult space to be in. And I just want y'all to understand, give yourself some grace when you enter those moments and those seasons, that you only find that out when you're truly pushing yourself. And not every single thing. He said, Rhy said earlier, he's talking about high risk and high reward. And sometimes high risk and high risk, and that's a straight up, you get up, nose bloody, dirt on your face, messed up your new good shirt, and you just looking like a mess. But hey, there it is. Where's our road dogs at? Where our road dogs at? Hey, that's the one. Yeah, roadies. Here in Texas, when you call a roadie, that's an open container for your passenger. But also, I think of and maybe it was it roadies when we talk about like people that chase bands. I know it's on both sides. Whatever it was. Okay. But either way. So need y'all to understand that it is part of the process. But if you make the adjustments, as Eric pointed out earlier, if you make the adjustments, we shouldn't be circling around and hitting these same routes again. Yeah, like I missed my exit. Now I got to do a full U-turn, come back and experience the same route because I'm being distracted by the thing that happened previously. I'm being distracted by what occurred in 2023. So I'm not able to go forward. I got to make a U-turn, circle back around, and then follow the right. Focus on where you're trying to go. Understand that you still need to continue to move forward. If you got to pull over, get gas, do that. But you still need to maintain a pace and continue on with the journey that you set forth because you know why you're doing it. And that's what Rhy was saying. That's the mindset of know why you're doing it, know where you're going. Don't get distracted by where you went. And maybe if you missed an exit, if you have to turn around, hurry up, get back on the route that you need to be going on. And that's just where me personally, that's where I'm at. And then and that's just the business side of things. Personally, we're going to have some hiccups. We're going to have some delays. We're going to have some heartache. We're going to have some whatever that looks like. I mean, I expressed, the beginning of this when I thought things were starting to pick up, not the beginning of the road to results, but the road to through my real estate journey. I lost my father in the beginning of 2021. It was not obviously that wasn't the plan, that wasn't the play, but it happened. Success, whatever perspective, it is subjective to everybody and what that means. But life is still going to life. Success doesn't shield you from life's activities and life's events. It doesn't. And if you're expecting that to, as you're going on your own road to results, just understand that sometimes, as Ryan expressed before, is like the devil's working overtime when you start to get to a certain level, certain new heights of blessings. And you can acknowledge it and sit in it, or you can acknowledge it and play defense.
Come on.
You still gotta keep moving. Like it's not that it's not real. We don't ever want to make that seem like it's not real, but you still have to make the decision to continue to move and fight through it. Yeah. That's where the mindset comes from.
And I'm gonna say this, right? Like I said it on my social, for those of you who follow me on the different social platforms, right? No one is exempt. No one is exempt from struggles. No one is exempt from heartache. No one is exempt from all of that. My brother passed. I got the message on Christmas Eve. The last message I'm trying to hear from my stepmom is, your brother got into an accident and he passed away. And immediately thinking about my sister, who her death anniversary is this month, January 24th. She passed away 2 years ago from taking her own life. And she was after me. And now our brother, who was after her, number 3, Keith, is gone. I mean, a man of faith, Christmas is one of my favorite seasons because it's that preparation of the heart and the mind, and just a reminder that light is coming into this world, of this dark place. And I get hit with that. My family gets hit with that. My stepmom gets hit with that. And just a little bit of context, my stepmom hit me up the month prior, because my dad and my brother were going through it. They were arguing. My dad was continuing to live the way he lives, which has been unhealthy and just a lot of things going on. And my brother couldn't handle it. And so even in my post, you see my poster, I put like a screenshot of a caption in 2015 when I said, look, I know you didn't have the greatest role models, but I just know that you can be great at whatever it is you decide to put your heart to. And I was just telling Ray, like, losing my brother, when I zoomed out, it was like, man, he didn't have a role model. I mean, I can be there in the Philippines, and I just think about like the cycles that are continuing to have my sister. I mean, just so many reasons and so many things play in my mind. And yeah, for a moment there, I was like, felt a little guilty. Felt like, oh, here I am, blessed. But at the same token, I'm like, doing what I can from afar. But it was like, bro, like, this is why we continue to grow in the ways we want to grow, so that maybe we can break that cycle somehow, some way. We don't know what that looks like. When I think about, but that loss and just receiving that, I was like, oh, okay. I told Ray, when it first happened, prior to me sharing it on social, I was like, okay, this is where my EQ kicks in. This is where my emotional intelligence kicks in. So now that I can actually develop AQ. This is Kobe at the free throw line getting booed by every single person in the stadium. Pressure insurmountable. Like, nobody believe, like, I don't know. I'm just in that Kobe phase, y'all. So just don't mind me, because I'm on that. But I really feel like you said, bro, like, the more we say yes, the more we continue to grow. The devil's going to work overtime. And like we said earlier, bro, he ain't going to outwork us. He definitely going to pull us down. He definitely going to, like, we going to be 5 miles per hour, right? This is a slow road right now for us. But I feel like that's just a sign of we are doing what we are called to do. And I agree with you, what we said earlier. But when can we get a break? Or when can we get that that pause, which we deserve? Like, when can we get that, just that time where we can just kind of enjoy it? And so So thank you everyone who's reached out in all the different ways, text, phone calls, emails, posts on social, just sharing, your condolences for the loss of my little bro. But just know, like, as we continue to grow through the hardship, like Ray and I are sharing full transparency, starting off 2024 on the struggle bus. All right, on the struggle bus. But thankful for everything that we've been through. Thankful for, all the adjustments. And so now again, and I'll just start off with mine. I'm gonna kick it over to you. So what does my tap dancing look like this year to kind of strengthen the areas? And you're looking at it. I EXP Realty. So I have decided to I have a property manager license here in South Carolina. I'm going to pursue my real estate license so that I can join EXP, my wife's team. And I love the structure of the organization because you have the opportunity to build teams, which means that I can pour into others so that they can get the results that they want to free their families up to, live the lives that they desire. So it's not just about me as a solo agent or me and Danielle as a couple agent. No. We are focused on growing our business by, selling real estate, purchasing, working with investors, whatever that looks like. But my role specifically going into this is part of helping grow a team, build a team of other agents nationally who would like to also be involved in real estate. And I'll be doing more of the personal development side, the accountability piece. I'm still a speaker, and people go, well, how do you do real estate and you're a speaker? I'm like, yo, this is the exit strategy. One of my best friends, Ray Jones, says, what's your exit strategy? And so at the end of the day, this is part of it. So my tap dancing right now is taking these classes online, getting ready to take the test. I got 90 hours, bro. Like, it's not, I just finished my degree, praise God. But I'm like, man, I'm back in school right away. But it's going to strengthen the foundation in all ways, but especially financially, to give us more of the time and the freedom to grow in all the other ways that we've been growing. So it's not that I'm pausing, or it's not that I'm stopping my speaking and all those opportunities. No, that's still growing. But I've also learned, like, oh, okay, I need to do some tap dance, and I got to get some ballerina lessons to strengthen other areas to be the strong ankles for our family. And joining Danielle and just, again, my bad to take too much time, but the last time me and Danielle got together and worked together in the same space, in the same industry, was when we were in the hospital. And when we were in the hospital, bro, that was when we saw the world the most. Because we worked the same unit, we had the same shifts, we had the same vacay, like we worked the same overtime, we spoke the same language, we were yoked like no other. And it was like Rhy Adventures. We used to have a website, rhyadventures.com, and we were going to different places, sharing our experience. I wish we'd have known about content and, Yelp and all those travel trip advisors, because we probably would have been doing stuff for free by now. But I mean, we've been traveling for 17 years. But it's been a while since we've been in a space together with the same vision, in the same industry, with the same goal. So I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. And she made it very clear as a high pilot, this is not going to replace your work that you've been doing in churches and schools. We're still doing that, but this is just going to give us that breathing space so that you can do more of it. So yeah, that's my tap dancing for this first quarter anyways, is just handling this real estate license. So how about for you, bro?
Yeah, I love it. You said it earlier, man, just continuing to say yes to things, or even putting yourself in the position for someone else to say yes to you. So again, I'll preface it with what E said. He said Ray has a gift, but doesn't necessarily have the opportunities. But being able to share that, and then you get people that be like, yo, like they expect you to make something like every time you're in service of other people. You have to be able, that's a risk too. Like you put yourself out there just truly in service, but it opens up so many doors. And bro, what I found at that event was and what my sister right there, Melissa Thomas, is, coined the group Road Dogs. Appreciate y'all, Road Dogs. And me being the good bully, but being able to do that for people in a space and place of whether it's events, whatever it is that you're trying to get to, but doing that and then also putting myself in a position now that we've had some conversation with a few other people to do their own events, but like, being that host, filling those gaps of mentally understanding what the previous message was, and the next one as the core concept of the event, tying those two things together. I found some peace in that, man. Like, honestly, like some peace, some joy. And, when we do our live event, I think I'll probably fill that role, both of us, but, when it comes just the energy of just speaking for 45, maybe that's not me. I might end up finding myself taking a nap in the back afterwards. But opening up into that space, obviously building this R2R to some, it's going to look a whole lot different at the end of 2024 than it did at the beginning of, than it does right now.
Yes, sir.
Some true energy behind that. And I think asking or saying yes to several things has put me in a position where there's some experience and there's some support from other people that will allow this to grow significantly more than what you and I had first envisioned when you made that first phone call. And that's where it is, man. So still slowing down in an area, and specifically on the real estate side, slowing down there. I'm not done. I may be down, but I'm not done. I'm not out. But maintaining a pace in an area that needs that pace. So if you're in that spot and you're in that position where you're like, I have something, I just don't know what it is, and I need someone to push me, I'm it. Like, I'm embracing that piece right there. What does it fully look like? I don't know. But like you said, it's tap dancing. Like, sometimes it's just about the beat. It's about the rhythm. It's about the environment situation. A lot of my peers, when I was still in the military, like when we was in military professional development in school, they'd be like, I think I probably mentioned it before, but we'd be having tests and, even a question I got right. And they'd be like, Jay, my last initial. Hey, can you put on them tap dancing shoes? Like, essentially just, hey, let's get this thing thrown out. I'm like, I got it right. They're like, yeah, but we didn't. I'm like, all right, let me see what I can do. But put those tap dancing shoes on and just be there, be in the moment, and see what someone's idea may be that they don't have a clear vision to, including you and I, like including intentionally you and I, but getting them to that result, like paving the road, giving them directions, and just embracing that piece that, Carl says, like, I had to pivotal piece of accepting Ray, just like, you need to do this, you need to do that. Why are you overthinking? Just do this, and getting to that point. And then at the end of it, the way that event ended, man, just like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Yep. I don't need to be up there in front. That was just a transition just of someone got in late, needed some rest. So just, same thing. That was tap dancing. That wasn't the intent. That wasn't the plan.
But here's this though. And here's what I want us to catch, y'all. Here's what I want us to catch. You said it earlier, right? Just a quote from the pod. And if you didn't watch the, Moving Past Potential pod, S2S podcast, check that out.
Part one.
And it's like, they're giving so much love to you in that sense. And you said it. Ray got the gift, but not the opportunity. And I'm going to add on the word yet. So I think the tap dancing piece for Ray this year is, okay, the gift is solidified and is even being more solidified through your most recent experiences. So now it's like, okay, now let's find the opportunity. And I love it because Vision to Fruition, that's one of the programs that we're putting out this year, where you get the 5 C's, where you're going to go through that clarity. You remember conviction? Well, you threw conviction in there, so we're going to do conviction, curriculum, content, consistency, cash flow, and we're just going with that circle. And we're just going to take you through that. But you need a Ray to take you through that. You need a Rhy. Like, that's our goal. And so I think what I love for you this year is now that that's already, the clarity is there, the conviction is there. Now it's like, okay, let's get you the opportunities.
Yep.
Fulfill. So now you're going to be fulfillment. And so and you're clear on who you want to serve, how you want to serve. You're clear on your role. Now it's just a matter of like, hey, Carl, do me a favor. Can you shoot me a little testimony? Would you put up a letter of recommendation, right? How do you package that? Because that's something that I do in my space so that I can continue to get more opportunities in speaking and coaching and working with schools. And so I love the fact that the gift is already even that much more clear, but now it's opportunity. And so for many of our listeners, it's the same. Like they're very clear on where, what their gift is or, what their gifts are. But now it's like, okay, they just are looking for opportunities. And so how do you position yourself? What language do you need to learn how to speak? What places do you need to be in? And that's what he talked about this morning. He talked about scaling. And he said, well, number one, let's not be too quick to scale, because if we're not ready, it could blow up in our face. But the other thing he said this morning that was also very powerful was about being intentional and deliberate with who and how you spend your time, even when you're on the mission to grow and scale. So every meeting, everything you do with your time, it basically, he was saying it should always be in alignment with your gift, with your industry, with what you're trying to do or what you're already doing. If you're spending time with folks who have zero alignment with you, who have zero to offer you and vice versa, then you're just taking away time from the people that really need it the most, or that you're going to mostly benefit the most from, and building mutual and covenant relationships.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm excited. Like I said, it's like, okay, here's what we do. Rookie year, right? Rookie year. Now Kobe is coming out, bro. Because Kobe was a pilot. He was a straight up pilot. He didn't make or miss, fast paced or not. He didn't care. Confident, cocky, call him what you want, but look at the bounce back.
Call it what you want.
Call it what you want.
Hey, you're gonna see something different. You're gonna see something different from us this year.
Love
it. And expect it and wish it upon everybody watching and listening to this. Something different from the positive aspect. Even if 23 was a complete blessing of growth, something significantly different.
Bro, let's call it this, man. You just said it, bro. Like the end of 2023, being that we grew the way we grew in all the different ways we grew in, it was just a growing pain.
Yeah,
bro, growing pains.
Yeah,
that's it. Thing. Yeah, it's a real thing, right? You grow. If you grow, especially for those who are tall, that's not me. All right, Filipino short dude right here, not me. But for those who are tall, like I've heard that when they grow too quick, too fast, like their joints hurt, like their knees hurt or this hurt, like it's an uncomfortable growth spurt. Yeah. But as they get stronger, as they work out, as they eat, whatever it is that they do, and their body adapts and adjusts and grows into it, then they become beast mode. So I'm gonna call the end of our last quarter growing pains. Current season right now is just growing pains.
Yeah, growing pains.
Growing pains. Show me that smile each day. Show me that. Is that the right show? I'm dating myself. You
talking about that actual show, Growing Pains?
Yeah, bro. There was show me that smile each day. Show me that smile. All right, y'all. Hey, I'm an 80s baby, so I'm not ashamed of that either.
There we go.
But yeah, where we tap dancing, y'all, this year. Just continue, and I love what you said, Ray. We are going to continue to stay on the road, continue to look forward, and use this time. If you didn't use the last month or the last couple weeks of 23 to just like really reflect and do a reality check, or maybe, again, you wanted to wait till the countdown, the ball dropped, and you're like, it didn't happen. It's okay too, wherever you are.
Yeah.
If you were that person, I was like, I'm gonna keep going to the last second, and you still didn't get the results that you were shooting for. You didn't hit that target. Maybe you're way off. Maybe you're real close. Hey, it's done. And here's another analogy going into 24. All right, because it's 2024, I'm using basketball analogies, and when possible, what do you get every single time the ball touches the rim? Come on, Ray, you got to give me this one. Every time the ball touches the rim, what resets?
Shot clock.
The shot clock. All right. So you hear me say it time and time again. We get another 24 hours if we're blessed. Because not even everyone gets another 24 hours. But I look at it as in every single day, I get a new 24-hour shot clock. So every time you take a shot, as long as you hit the rim, it might look ugly. It might be real close. It might be a little in between, but we get a new shot clock every single day. So are we maximizing our 24-hour shot clock so that we get the best pace, so that we're putting the energy in the right places? I don't have it on me right now. It's downstairs, but I got the playbook that we use that we got from New York. I'm filling that joint out. High ATC. It's not me. Straight air traffic controller writing down. I got to manually write in the dates. And I love it because in the to-dos on the daily task, there's like a morning, afternoon, and evening. And there's only like 3 or 4 lines per section. So what that does for me as a high flight attendant, it makes me really choose which are the top priorities that I need to do in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. And it doesn't leave a lot of space for you to write a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm loving the visual, and I'm going to develop the discipline to write those things out and still put it in my 90, for the digital piece, and still have it, in digital places. But that's another type of tap dancing skill I'm going to be developing so that anybody that opens up my playbook or my planner can see exactly what my targets were that day. They could see exactly what they were for the month. They could see my gigs. They could see all the different things as I grow it out. So, yeah, man.
There it is.
Ray. Final thoughts, bro. Final thoughts for this first pod of 2024. And for those of you who've been rocking with us weekend, we just know that number one, you keep us going. You bring us energy in a whole different way when we see eyeballs on the live, and we're going to keep this format going. And we do plan on having more guests to share more experiences, and we do plan on continuing to collaborate with those that are in alignment with what we are doing. So, Ray, bro, final thoughts for the first podcast in 2024, our Kobe year. What say you, my brother?
Hey, stay focused. Stay focused. Keep it's a long season. That's where we'll go. It's a long season. And whatever it is, like you said, if we're running out of gas in this game, just keep your eyes on the long season. We'll say that like it's just a season that we're going through. It is. And when I say it's a long season, there's several opportunities, as Rhy said, to get up every single day. As long as you're getting up, you have another opportunity to take another shot. And he said, as long as it hits the rim, that means you got to be focused. You got to know where it's going. Not every game's going to play out the way you want it to. Not every day's going to play out the way you want it to. But stay focused. Get in community, stay in this community. Cry out when you need to cry out. But don't just sit there. So for 2024, find that energy, find that momentum. Do the things that nourish you and give you the energy to get up and do it again. If you're trying, you ain't done. If you ain't dying, you ain't done. Take every opportunity. Give it everything you have. Stay focused. Just know that we're going somewhere. You got to know where you're going. You got to know where you're going. You got to know why you're going there. And if you do that, I promise you'll eventually get there. You just have to maintain a pace. The right pace. And I say that speaking to myself, but as I tell everybody else, you're not so special that you're the only one. So I know I'm not the only one. And Janine said earlier, thank you for being so real or keeping it real. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I wasn't sure that I wanted to go live.
He did say
and
that.
Rhy was like, yeah, I was like, I don't even know if I really want to go live on this one. And Rhy was like, hey, if you don't want to, and I was like, you know what, man, like, hey, you make the call.
He did.
And he said, I'm good with going live. And I was like, let's do it then. So let me go get a drink of water.
He did say that. Hey, he let me pilot,
yeah.
y'all. Can you see that? He's already making adjustments. He gave that pilot decision up to me. But one thing I did say, I said, look, don't worry, bro. We're going to go live. I got you. I got you. I'm gonna bring whatever energy we need to bring. Like, again, because we don't script out these pods. We want to be fully present, fully transparent. And so when I said, no, let's go live, and I got you, because this is what we do. This is how we roll. And you said it best. But when we did our prayer prior, you're like, yo, bro, let's just give our community, let's give our road dogs like the real. And this is why, again, we're leaving here with a different energy. I know I am for sure. And just to speak to what Ray was saying, it's the season. Like, it's a full season. We're in Q1. Now, if we want to break it down, basketball terms, there's 82 regular season games, not including the playoffs. Regular season. All right.
And every one of them games, there's practice and preparation for it.
That's it. You want to look at it in 52 weeks, 52 games. You can break that down and do 104 games, 2 games a week. Break it down however you want to break it down. But just know this is a marathon, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's why pace is important.
But we just want to let you know, because I say it to people all the time, whenever they're going through their go through, growing through their go through, hey, you're not so special that you're the only one. And that's the same that goes for me. I'm not so special. Rhy's not so special that's the only one. So when we keeping it real or transparent, it's because we understand that somebody else is going through something. It may not be the exact same thing, but just understand everybody's going through something, but it's the growth through that's going to put you in position to build that AQ, that adversity quotient.
Come on.
To endure some growth and some growing pains that 2024 may bring, that 2025 may bring, because, hey, let's just be real. We're still trying to grow. The pain is temporary, but we're still trying to grow. So keep trying to grow. Don't keep trying. Just keep growing. 2024, keep growing.
Hey, keep growing. And like we say, come on, y'all. Like we say, don't just go with us.
Just go with us.
Grow with us.
Grow with us. Hey, 2024 Kobe year. Let's go.
Come on, let's go. 2024, y'all. We out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Continue to subscribe, like, and comment. Share the pod with anyone that you believe can benefit from what we share. Because again, we're going to keep it real with y'all in real time. All right, y'all. God bless. 2024. Let's get it. Make the adjustments. Know what you're about. I done dropped the ball on that one. Know what you are going to do know you're tap dancing. All right, know what you can do to tap dance, but let's make it happen. We love y'all, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.